الله أجورنا وأجوركم في مسابع أبي عبد الله الحسين عليه السلام. This is a statement from Imam Ali about the sincere supporters of Ahlul Bayt, the Shi'ia. يفرحون لفرحنا ويحزنون لحزننا. When we are happy, our followers are happy. When we are sad, they are sad. The Ashura is the saddest event in history of our faith. لا يوم كيومك يا أبا عبد الله. There is no any other day compared to Ashura. We are talking about a man, when we call him in the ziyarat, أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر. You gave meaning to prayer and charity. You promoted what is good, and you did your best to prevent what was evil. أشهد لقد طيب الله بك التراب وأوضح بك الكتاب. I bear witness that your pure blood purified this earth and clarified the revelation. That means creation was purified and revelation was clarified through your sacrifice, O Imam Hussein. It is not about confrontation between two camps, two individuals, two groups. It is a conflict بين الحق والباطل, good and evil, truth and falsehood, justice and oppression, sacrifice and selfishness, dignity and dishonesty. We have on one side أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة. A man who represents the faith, freedom and divine dignity and principles, حياة طيبة, salvation. And on the other side we have Yazid, رجل فاسق, شارب الخمر, قاتل النفس المحترمة, معلن بالفسق, somebody who is absolutely corrupt, alcoholic, a monster, a murderer, represent the entire evil. These two individuals are coming from two totally different families. The father of Hussein is the man who said, والله لو أعطيت الأقاليم السبع بما تحت أفلاكها على أن أعصى الله في نملة أسلبها جلب شعيرة ما فعل وإن دنياكم عندي لأهون من ورقة في فم جرادة تغضمها ما لعلي ولنعيم يفنى ولذة لا تبقى. سبحان الله. السلام عليك يا أبا الحسن. These words are full of dignity and light. If they give me not just a governance or the gravity of this dunya, if they gave me the entire universe to hurt one ant, to hurt the locust about one leaf in his mouth, the weakest being in this world hurt the weakest one in the entire world, while I'm receiving the property of the entire universe, I'm not going to take this business. This is Ali. But Yazid is coming from a guy who said, ما قتلتكم لتصلوا ولا لتصوموا وإنما قتلتكم لأتأمر عليكم. Saying, you think that I fought you to ask you to pray or fast or hajj? It is not about religion. I just want to be your boss and have power and domination over you, and now I have it. That's it. When An-Nisa'i, and he is one of the writers of Kutub al-Sitta, you know, Sahih al-Sitta, one of them is As-Sunan al-Kubra lil-Nisa'i. Ahmad ibn Shu'ayb is a great pious man. He's one of the authors of Sahih al-Sitta that are absolutely accepted by Ahl Sunnah. This man was in Damascus. He wrote a book about Khasa'is al-Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib. He admired Imam Ali in a book. طالبوه الأمويون بكتابة كتاب عن فضائل معاوية. The Daeshiyun of Damascus, they asked him that, why you write something similar for Muawiyah? فقال النسائي أحمد بن شعيب صاحب السنن الكبرى هو قال لا أعرف فيه إلا قول النبي لا أشبعه الله. What do you want me to write about Muawiyah? I have only one thing about Muawiyah, and this is that Prophet, peace be upon him, said that may Allah deprive you from the feeling that you never feel you are full. No matter how much you eat, you still feel you are hungry. That's all I know about Muawiyah. You want me to write a book about him? فضربه الأمويون على خصيتيه وداسوه حتى مات شهيدا. They surrounded this guy and they started beating and hitting his private part and tortured him that he died. He turned to a martyr. Such a great scholar, a man of piety. So Yazid is coming from this background that all he can claim is that the Prophet said, La ashbahu Allah. But Hussein is وارث آدم صفوة الله ونوح النبي الله وإبراهيم خليل الله وموسى كليم الله وعيسى روح الله ومحمد رسول الله. How can we compare these two paths, two different destinies? Impossible. He is a man who represents the knowledge of Adam and patience of Noah and sincerity of Abraham and dedication of Moses and sacrifice of Jesus and mercy of Muhammad. This is the man that we honored him and continue to honor him in Tasu'a and Ashura. And this is the man that if we talk about him عارفاً بحقه, that really have a ma'rifah بحق al-Hussein, if we know him, then our ummah is going to be totally in different situation. اليوم أيها الإخوة والأخوات انحراف هذه الأمة وتخلفها وجهلها وظلمها وفقرها وفسادها, all the problems of this ummah, the backwardness, the ignorance, the poverty, the division, the confusion, the massacre, all these evils in this ummah, because of the continuity of the masir and the path that Bani Umayyah provided for this ummah, and we still are paying the price of what happened in Ashura and before Ashura and after Ashura. All lot of the people who did not care about God, did not care about faith, did not care about human dignity. They were kadlabun, wa dajjalun, wa munafiqun. People without faith, without dignity, without honesty, without care for humanity, and started a life of evil. They could not tolerate Ahlul Bayt, and that is the biggest reason they did to this ummah. Haramuna min turath Ahlul Bayt Rasulullah. That is the biggest crime they did. They deprived us from the legacy of the family of the Messenger of God. Nobody could talk about them, mention their name, mention a hadith that Imam Ali said this, or Imam Hussein said that, or Imam Hassan said that. It was a total dictatorship, political dictatorship, and suppression, and isolation, and oppression against Ahlul Bayt. أخذوهم, ذبحوهم, شردوهم, هجروهم. In every place, they followed them, they displaced them, they destroyed them, they deprived them from their rights, and they deprived the ummah from its right. Now when you see that somebody like Donald Trump, he said that if he was elected, he may close some mosque in America related to ISIS. And now this is a big news in this country. Of course we are against the statement of Donald Trump. That is wrong. If you know ISIS somewhere, deal with them. Why you are closing the mosque? What it has to do with the mosque? If you know them, how come you didn't know them after years of doing all these crimes? Still you don't know who the ISIS are? If you are serious, why you are talking about closing the mosque? This is bad, but you want to know something worse than this? At least Donald Trump is saying it. We don't know if he means it. We don't know if he is going to be elected. We don't know if he was elected, he's going to do it, or it's just a propaganda for the election. Maybe this is the case. It's not serious. But you want to know the seriousness? Just last night in Cairo, they closed Masjid al-Hussein. The Egyptian government said that the Shia may go and they get engaged in khurafat over there in Tasu and Ashura. We are going to close this mosque from last night till the end of Ashura. And this is a Muslim country, and they are closing the mosque of Masjid al-Hussein. Can you imagine? You think Yazid is over? The Salafiyun, that now everybody is suppressed in Cairo except Salafiyun. They are free. They said they are going to even participate in election. What is going on? What kind of khurafa? Are you saying that for the Shia coming to Masjid al-Hussein and honor Ashura, that is a khurafa? Are you saying that Imam Hussein was not killed? Are you saying that Yazid did not kill Yazid? Are you saying that nothing like this happened in our history? IHWConnect, go and read your own books. Not the Shia books. Read your own books. Or you want to say what Moshe Dayan said, that هم لا يقرؤون وإذا قرأوا لا يفهمون وإذا فهموا لا يطبقوا ولا يعملون? Is that your case? You don't trust us, but do you trust Ahmad ibn Hanbal, one of the 4 leaders of the Sunni school of thought? The Hanbali, as a matter of fact, that is the school of thought that the Salafiyya, they claim that they follow that school of thought. Ahmad ibn Hanbal says this hadith sahih, that Salama saying that, and I mentioned this in one of the Ashura's night, that كان النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم نائما في بيتي. The Prophet was in my house, he was sleeping. فجاء الحسين يدرج أو يدرج. Imam Hussein came and he was about to come in. فقعدت على الباب فأمسكته مخافة أن يدخل فيوقظه. Salama says that because Prophet was sleeping, I tried to stop Hussein, this boy, to come in and bother the Prophet and wake him up. ثم غفلت في شيء فدب فدخل فقعد على بطنه. For a moment I was distracted, but the boy came, Hussein came and قعد على بطنه. He sat on the stomach of the Prophet. How close. قالت فسمعته. The Prophet was sleeping before that, right? فسمعت نحيب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. As Ahmad ibn Hanbal, all of a sudden I heard that the Prophet يحيب نحيب يعني بكاء عالية, started crying loudly. فجئت فقلت يا رسول الله ما علمت به. Salama says that I came and said, oh messenger of God, what happened? Why you are crying that way? فقال إنما جاءني جبرائيل عليه السلام وهو على بطني قاعد فقال لي أتحبه. Prophet said that, Salama, do you know that just now Jibreel came to me and he saw Hussein sitting on my stomach. He says, do you like this boy? فقلت نعم يا جبرائيل. قال إن أمتك ستقتله. This is a man who is going to be killed by your ummah. ألا أريك التربة التي يقتل بها. Ya Rasulullah, do you like me to show you a little from the turba, from the soil of the land where Imam Hussein is going to be killed on? فقلت بلى. قال فضرب بجناحه فأتاني هذه التربة. The Prophet showed to me, to Salama, some turba. فإذا في يده تربة حمراء. I saw that there is some red soil, turba, red, on the hand of the Prophet. وهو يبكي ويقول ليت شعري من يقتلك بعدي يا حسين. My son, who is going to kill you? To kill the Rayhanatul Rasul. This is Ahmad ibn Hanbal is talking, it's not she is talking. So what kind of khurafat are you talking about? The government of Egypt for closing Masjid Hussein in Ashura. Apparently ulama al-Wahhabiyya and the money of Wahhabiyya is working also in Egypt and everywhere, unfortunately, in the Muslim world and Arab world. These people are not following Ahl Sunnah. They are not following Shafi'i or Maliki or Hanafi or Hanbali, because those four Imams, they never said the things that we hear from people like Ibn Taymiyyah. Ibn Taymiyyah is different, brothers and sisters, from all of the Sunni school of thought. This is a very controversial man that so many Sunni scholars, they wrote against him. منهم الحافظ السخابي في الضوء اللامع لأهل القرن التاسع عن علاء الدين البخاري الحنفي. This is one of the greatest Hanafi scholar, علاء الدين البخاري. He is saying إنه من سمى ابن تيمية شيخ الإسلام فقد كفر. This is not some Shi'ia said. Is Hanafi scholar said, if you call Ibn Taymiyyah Shaykh al-Islam, that would be Shaykh al-Islam, but be guide. فقد كفر. We don't say what this, Bukhari, Hanafi Imam said, أهل الشيعة نحن لا نكفر الناس. Although Ibn Taymiyyah almost كفر كل العالم. If you go to the Fatawa Ibn Taymiyyah, you realize that except he himself and few people who agree with him and follow him, everyone else in the Muslim world فقد كفر. He considers everybody else kafir, infidel. And now this guy became like the motto of this Salafiyya and Wahhabiyya and Shi'ia, and these are the same people that you remember in Karbala. You remember the history. You were not there in 18th century. At that time they didn't have oil, they were looking for money, and they were doing ghara, they were attacking everywhere. They said, let us do the jihad and get sabaya, slaves and money. They attacked Karbala. Anybody they saw in Shawara Karbala, they killed. Even in Darih, they killed hundreds of people. Altogether, maybe more than 8,000 people. And that was too many people at that time. Almost everybody was killed. And they stole anything that it was in Darih. Now they have oil, they don't do that way anymore. Although some of them they do in Adraha, in Syria and Iraq and Mosul. Looks like now the priority is just to go and destroy the graves and attack and kill people. That is their Islam. This is their priority. That's the most important things that they know about Islam. That Islam is about killing, it's about genocide. Genocide not only physically but intellectually and psychologically and spiritually, to have genocide all over. Hukm al-irhab. These are the same people that they say, لا يجوز الخروج على الخليفة. When somebody is Khalifa, you cannot uprise against Khalifa. وإن ضرب ظهرك وأخذ مالك. Wow. Even if you have a corrupt king that's going to take your property and is going to beat you and kill you, it's haram to talk against his ruler. That's what they say. And this is what's going on when Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, this Khabith Marwani Amabi ruler, he said, if you tell me ittaqillah, I'm going to kill you. Isn't it amazing? He didn't say it like privately to somebody. He said it ala al-mimbar. Publicly he said, man qala li ittaqillah adrib unuqa. That's what I'm going to do. You have no right to tell me to have taqwa and fear of God. غرق القرآن في أول يوم خلافته قال لا ألقاك حتى يوم القيامة. He said, enough is enough. Now I'm in the power. Quran, no Quran. This is really the situation that we have been suffering as an ummah. And this is why nobody cares for our ummah. Nobody respects our ummah. Look at what is going on now in Palestine. In the last couple of weeks, it's such a small community in West Bank and Jerusalem. 1,900 people were wounded. 1,900. And more than 50 people were killed in West Bank or Jerusalem. By the settlers, by the soldiers. And you don't even hear the news, because those who are supposed to represent for Islam, Khadim al-Haramain al-Sharifain, they are busy bombing the poor people in Yemen. And they don't want to talk about what is going on in Arad al-Muhtal. To the point that now Netanyahu is saying that, you know, it was not Hitler who wanted to burn the Jews. It was the Mufti of Al-Quds who told Hitler to burn them. Wow, now history. Can you imagine that for a century everybody was talking about Holocaust, Hitler caused Holocaust. Now Netanyahu said, no, it's not Hitler, somebody else did. So now there is this doubt and confusion. So why you oppose the idea of having an objective investigation and a studying of Holocaust, that who did what? If you don't know who caused Holocaust, let us study the history. But if you want to raise this question, you go to jail in some European countries. This is the situation of our Ummah brothers and sisters. And this is happening because of what happened and what caused the catastrophe in Karbala almost 1,350 years ago. There were people who stood for truth, Al-Imam Hussein and his son Ali al-Akbar, وَأَوْلَادُهُ وَأَعْوَانُهُ وَأَنصَارُهُ. And there was Yazid that didn't tolerate the truth. Today is Tasu'a and day of Ali al-Akbar, when he saw that Al-Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he woke up from a short nap and he said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And his son said, Ya abata limada istarja'ta. Why you recited this verse that usually when somebody dies we say Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un? And Imam answered that in a short nap that I had, I heard that somebody is saying Al-Ghum yasirun wal manaya tasiru ilayhi. This caravan is marching and the maniya, the death, is marching and following them. So that was a morning. And this son, instead of showing any fear and concern, he said, Ya abata awalasna bil-haq. Is it that our direction and our decision is not based on principle? It's not that we are defending the truth? Of course we are defending the truth. The Imam answered, Bala bala. فَإِذَا لَا نُبَالِي عَلَى الْمَوْتِ. Oh Father, then we are not afraid of death. Whether we march towards death or death marches toward us, same. I'm not worried about that. So I'm worried about truth, only one word. This is, brothers and sisters, the lesson that we must learn from Karbala. This is the lesson that we must teach our boys and girls, our daughters, our sons, that always in your life stand for truth, stand for haqq. This is the real lesson. And Ali al-Akbar stood for truth because he is the grandson of the Imam who said, Wallahi labna Abi Talib anisun bil mawt min at-tifl bithudyi ummi. How much a baby loves to touch the breast of his mom, that is how much Ali ibn Abi Talib is honest, is in passion, in love with meeting his Lord. الألف ضربة بالسيف أهون علي من ميتة على فراش. He said, I prefer to sacrifice my life for truth, for the sake of truth, and be cut thousands of times than just normally stay in my bed and die in my bed while I'm not affecting and I'm not doing my duty. This is the culture. Salamullah alayka ya Aba al-Hasan wa alayka ya Aba Abdullah ya Sayyid al-Shuhada ya Aba al-Ahrar. Alayka minna salamullah abadan ma baqina wa baqiya al-layl wa al-nahar wa la ja'alahu Allah akhir al-ahd minna li ziyaratikum. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. Brothers and sisters, I'd like to mention that inshallah tomorrow, day of Ashura, we start the English at 9:30 and the Arabic, inshallah, the Maqta al-Samat al-Sheikh Fadil al-Khatib, he is between us and it's an honor to have him as our guest reciter and speaker. He is going to speak tonight, tomorrow night, and after tomorrow, Sunday night is the last night. But tomorrow is Ashura, and we like to have everyone to be here 9:30. Those English audience, make sure you are here at 9:30 because the Arabic starts around 10 o'clock. And also two things that I want to mention, that in the last few nights, we ask our brothers and sisters to help to share contribution to the Ashura expenses. Ashura has some expenses for the masjid, and we like to ask also the mu'mineen and mu'minat in Friday prayer. We are not doing fundraising. Our dinner is going to be November 8th, inshallah, anniversary, and we invite everyone to be there. But we are just asking for your help for the Ashura expenses and be generous about that. And also, we've been asking our audience to be members of House of Wisdom. Our goal to have 72 members of House of Wisdom that monthly they support this House of God, its services, its education, its outreach, its interfaith, its community services, and inshallah your name is going to be one of those 72 names of Ansar Hussein, Ansar Abi Abdullah, and we are going to mention the names that already registered to be member tonight. So those of you whose names are already there, we are going to mention it, and those who are not, please consider this to be especially for your children. Let them be connected to the masjid, to be honored that we were members of the mosque when we were 5 years old, 6 years old. Leave this legacy for your children. This is something that we can learn from Ashura to be one of those 72 people. على أرواح الشهداء وأرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات والشفاء المرضى وخاصة مرضى المنذورين, Dr. Kati and Abu Mazen and some of other names that they are in our minds that some of them don't want to be mentioned, but they ask us for dua. للشفاء الجميع نتقدم ونهدي سورة الحمد سورة الفاتحة بعد الصلوات على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.